Whisper if you hear me. We need to put that to a rap. What's up, y'all? Y'all know who I am. I'm in a better mood today because it's my birthday, and whatever I say, I can blame it on that. And no, I only got a Sprite. So, before you say that, it's the baby Whisper Yvonne. What's up? All my whispers, where you at? Say shh. That's all I want y'all to do on this comment. I want y'all to say shh if you one of my whispers. If you new, come join our craziness. You might like this. If you being nosy, come on get some tea. Let's put some real words in the street, because some of y'all don't know where y'all get y'all information from. Anyway, Google don't have everything. Google one day gonna tell y'all, I don't know, ho. Go find out yourself. Okay, sorry. Okay, back to the scheduled program. Sorry. All right, so remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever else goes with that. All right, I just lost my own thought. That's funny. Okay, so homeschooling. Y'all want to know my homeschooling journey. So let's start. My mother, this is going to be part one, so pay attention. My mother has always homeschooled us before we have went into school buildings because she was a teacher. She was OBGYN nurse and she was a teacher, RN. So we always had, I can't remember. You listen, I'm 41 today. I'm getting old for real because I was trying to remember the name. It came in a big old school bus and it had a bunch of stuff in it. I can't remember what it was. Then we had Reading Rainbow, and everybody knows Schoolhouse Rock. We was a part of the membership for the family. And then we had the Christian one, which I think it was God Soldier. I don't know. We love them songs because, they had the ones I gotta jump down, turn around, touch the ground. You got up and got to move, not that boring stuff. That's what we had. But anyway, so before we went into school, we had that. So she would know our baseline of training. And then we entered into school. And then she kept us into school. Then we got homeschooled 1 year. I think I was in 5th grade. No, I was in 6th grade. We got homeschooled a half year. We came over and she put us back into school. She didn't like that factor. She put us back into school, and I have been into education the whole time. Let's say it like this. I believe education has had a transition 7 times. So I'm going to give y'all the years, and I want y'all to remember the years, okay? In 93, we had one transition. In 96, we had the next transition. In 99, 2000, because I graduated. In 2000, we had the next transition. In 2003, we had the next transition. In 2007, we had the next transition. We had 5. In 2009, we had the next transition. And then in 2011, I wasn't here. We had the transition. Now, for all y'all parents that say, what the hell going on with school? We have missed 3 transitions. And now in 19, they were going into that. Now, y'all wondering what the transition is. Education transitions itself because you have more influences coming into the education world, which is changing it. You have a lot more beliefs, likes, idealistics coming in. And the reason why education transition is because whatever is going on in the society is going to affect your schools. For those of you who think, the government just gives schools money, please wake up. I want y'all to say, ding, wake up. That's what I want you to do. Ready? Ding, wake up. The government has a lot to do with your schooling. So, what knocked everybody off the bucket world was 2020. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Because them people said, keep your kids at home. Y'all all know that. So in 2020, the transition that was missing anyway from 2017 that never happened, that transition didn't happen. And in 2019, they were starting it. And then guess what? In 2020, we came up with COVID. So they say, okay, so what was so different? For those of you who only get stick in your bubble, what do they call that? Head Start. Head Start was already the beginning. Where you used to go and you can send your kids for a very affordable price to learn had a big old hubber on them because funding was taken from them. And people say, why do schools need funding? You know, these little people like me called teachers, we don't work for free because how the hell we supposed to afford our kids to go? Now everybody look at teachers and say teachers ain't doing their job. If you can't afford to feed your family, are you supposed to afford to go to a classroom that's supposed to upgrade your training? How you going to afford that? And then everybody looked at me and said, you got to answer to everything. I don't have common sense. That's what I have. Listen, I've been on both sides. I am on both sides. Y'all seen my kids. One graduates this year. The other one graduates next year. Welcome to my hell. And I'm still teaching people kids. I've seen teachers get up here and say, these kids learn at a 4th grade level and they're in 7th grade. Because the beginning of the school year is taught to reframe and remember. You take it back. You're in 7th. You go from 6th, 5th. What like grade that land you on? 4th. Okay? They always take it back 2 years. Most children stop learning in 4th grade. You want to know why? Because all they're doing is, I hate to say this, all they're doing is face value learning. Because they so sick of looking at paperwork, they don't even see nobody really teach them anymore. The classrooms have gotten insane because some parents think their kids should be grown at 13, 14. The teachers are overworked, and when they look at their paycheck, okay, well, sometimes you look at your paycheck, you want to say, hey, I got paid. It's about to go to bills, I got paid. You look at your paycheck, and you don't even see it worth it. Do you really want to be there? Then you got parents blaming you for some stuff they should be helping you with, and your boss is telling you that you're not up to par with all the paperwork that you should not have anyway. Plus, you ain't up to par with putting kids down so they can get money. I'm gonna sip some Sprite on that because that's some tea. And some of y'all gonna say not in my state. There's somebody above you that knows exactly what I'm talking about. So in 2020, I took in 29 kids, plus my own 2. And the stuff that I saw was horrendous. I was already homeschooling. Y'all all know the story. Matthew came out the bathroom and saw this little boy who was in a complete girl outfit. I was not there. My mother was. I do know one thing. The amount of shock was on his face. Was everything at everything. That's all I can say. I can't even explain it. Because my kid was so confused and so disgusted. Not at the fact the little boy had a dress on. At the fact that the teacher screamed at him and told him that he needs to be more liberal. So he said, wait till I call my mom. And we ain't going to talk about what happened when they called me. Because I had to come from work. I wasn't mad about that. I was mad about an adult telling my child that they should get over it. And the little boy... I'm still calling him a little... the reason why I'm saying he's a little boy because he doesn't dress like that anymore. Which has nothing to do with his story. However, his mother wanted a girl. So he was trying to be a girl for his mom. That's a whole different story. Anyway, but... the little boy started taking up for Matthew because he saw the way the teacher was talking to the both of them. And I'm thinking to myself, if these kids, now he was 12 at the time, if these kids are trying to tell you something, then hello, I didn't fly with that. So for those of y'all who's saying, I knew she was one of them people, for my children, don't play with me. I didn't fly for that. I took my kids out of school immediately. So they went to American schools for all about 3 hours. I think 3 hours. I think it was 2 hours. I don't know. It was a whole big mess. Now I'm going to tell you why I reacted like that. As a professional and a teacher myself, I get it. There are a lot of things that we don't agree with that we have to teach our kids, that they have to be respectful and keep it moving. This adult was cursing at my child that I had now 2 12-year-olds talking to this adult and saying, why are you talking to him like that? Now, before all y'all focus on the wrong thing, focus on this. The adult was the one that needed to be told what to do. That was the problem I had. There was no longer any law and order in the schools. And the more I started working, I realized that the law and order was, if your school was in a particular area, you weren't supposed to have order anyway. You just were supposed to be there. They just here. They just show up. They just pass y'all along because this is what they need for a quota. Not my children. No, Sari Bob, not my children. So I decided then that I was going to homeschool. Now, homeschooling is not easy. It is not easy. You need to... Hold on. I'm in the middle of the video. I will call you back.
Okay.
And thank you. Sorry, my lovely niece. Anyway, so I learned that homeschooling was what my option was going to be. I've told all of you parents, if you have a problem with your school, and some of y'all going to say, we can't afford to do this. Remember two things. I told y'all that in go back and look at yesterday's videos. You can tell yourself that you can't afford to homeschool your children, yet the things that come out of them going to school is going to be more detrimental to your family and your child than you not working the way you think you need to work. Because here's the problem. A lot of kids, parents, and a lot of kids don't like the traditional school. A lot of kids don't like traditional testing. A lot of kids don't like the solitude of, you must obey what I just told you, and I can be dead fucking wrong, but you must be obeying what I just told you, and if you don't, there is consequences. How many kids have been suspended for telling the teacher the right thing? Now, I'm not going to talk about the ones, which they are there. Listen, I've had some kids that I told they parent, you can meet me outside at 5 o'clock when we done. We can have this conversation. Yes, the baby whispered did. I'm going to tell you why. Because some parents don't understand that this monkey see, monkey do, and they want to be grown and acting like they grown does not fly with every teacher. And the parent sends them to school because the teacher going to put the check in them. How can we put a check in your child without you getting mad? Anyway, so for the parents who keep saying to me, you do an awesome job in what you do, but they don't want to make a change. If you fuss with your girlfriends who ain't got nothing to do with the school building, but you just fussing because everybody going to be a yay corner, you not ready to make a change. Matter of fact, you don't even want to make a change. You just want to have a look. What's it called? When you want to do something and just to everybody else, I don't know. You want to have a look to everybody else like you want to change, but you really don't want to change. A facade. There, thank you. Thank you, Chuck. Yeah, see, Chuck's behind there. Anyway, so you want to have a facade that you want to change. When you go to homeschool, everybody is going to tell you that it is illegal for you to teach your children. Find the law. That's what I want you to tell them. Find the law. Because in the United States law book, school started in school. School started at home. See, when y'all say homeschool, I automatically just go to school. My kids go to school. They go to school at home. In the United States law book, school started home. We all know that. Back in the day, they went into their houses in a little small place like the chapel, and they did their school away from the rest of the house. Then they stepped it up a notch because they thinking, these kids aren't really in what society needs. So then they started to build the buildings, the school houses. And it was still a house. Hear the word, school house. Then it became a school building when they made it bigger because they had to bring in more bullshit to our kids, which is what it is. I'm sorry. So, homeschooling. They say it's very hard for you to do. It's illegal. It is not illegal for you to teach your kids at home. It's illegal to put your kids in a cult, which if you think about it, sending them to school is like a cult, but that's not the point. See, they throw around words. I keep telling y'all words are very important. They throw around words real quick, don't they? So, how do I start a homeschool? That's not a part of my journey. That's a part of my training. So, you guys want to know when I first started homeschooling my kids. I first started homeschooling my kids actually in 2017 before I came back because I had to transition them. I let them go to school and then I would transition them at home. Then 2018, they went all the whole of one day I don't think that's a day. It was only 2 hours. 2 hours is what they went into school, and then I had to do it. I'm trained to know what to do when it comes to homeschooling. If you have a curriculum, you have a foundation. That's not the part of homeschooling, though. You have to have lesson plans. Focus, people. When I do lesson plans because I'm trained to do it for a month. Now, after doing this for so long, I can do lesson plans for a whole 6-month stretch. I pick a theme, pick a topic, pick a theme, run it out. Everybody tells me, your kids are out of school by 12 o'clock. My kids are in high school. Yes, they're out of school by 12 o'clock. Actually, they're out of school by 11:30. Now, when I say out of school, I mean, that don't mean they done learning. I mean that I'm not looking at no more worksheets. They not looking at no more computers. We not going over no more written nothing. We could be on YouTube watching a video. They could be getting ready to make a model or something. Active learning has been lost in transition. We gotta get back to where they learn. Kids only learn for 4 hours out of a day. If you got smaller kids, it's 3. The peak times is 5. What does that extra hour and a half come from? The other extra hour and a half comes from if something goes wrong, you have to lengthen the time. Okay? So, to be honest, imagine that started in 2001. It was a very crucial year for us because that was the year that we were homeless. We had hotels to hotels, and it was a very hard year. But I tell you what I always did. Going to work, waking up the kids, going to work, getting their computer work, having a program where I can watch what they do and cut them off. Sign them in, sign them out. At work, still doing all of that. I still did it. So for those of you who say that you cannot homeschool in any situation, I do not believe it because I did it. In 2022, I finally went to the school boards and I finally went to the homeschool networks and I said, listen, I'm going to do this on my own. And I'm still standing. I've got no help, which I'm supposed to be getting grants and financial help. I've got no help. I've still been standing. Imagine that has been standing for 2.5 years by itself. I refuse to let somebody tell me what my children will be. This is what my drive is making sure that my children succeed. A lot of people look at me and say, how did you do critical thinking? I do everything the old school way. I told y'all the basics, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Where does science and social studies? Science is in arithmetic. Reading has social studies. And writing has everything else. That's only 3. But the other 6 subjects should be what your child is majoring in. Actually, 2 subjects should be what your child is majoring in. And that 1 should be a free thinking, critical thinking. My children have already been through the pre-stages of psychology, criminal psychology. What's the other? Abnormal psychology. Somebody taking this. I think it's Bear. Bear is taking this semester. Gizmo has went through most of the beginning business classes and aced them out. And I'm the class, I'm the school, I'm the class, I'm the teacher that everybody gets mad when I say this is what my talent is worth. It's not even the price that it's worth. This is how much talent and education I have to train you to do that. Yeah, it always comes down to one thing. And for all of you melanated families out there who wants to homeschool your kids, they will never give you the credit. Never. I take the credit. You ain't got to give it to me. I'm going to show you what I can do, then embarrass you. That's the baby whisper. But I'm going to tell you why I got there. Because we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of education. We have a lot of abilities to do what we do. And there are so many people out there that still want to add in a culture, a color, a neighborhood. And I'm thinking to myself, this is what y'all want to teach the kids. And by the way, yes, you are right. I don't teach about slavery. I don't. I go through slavery, and the boys have been through this since they were in 8th grade. I go through slavery, and then I want to know about how we hit back. And when I say I teach them about how we hit back, I teach them about the positive things that we done that nobody talk about. Like until last year, they didn't realize the Underground Railroad had a lot of people involved in it. Until last year, they were like, what? Why do I do that? I don't ever want my kids to think they got to stay in one situation. They have to learn how to take the situation they're in and use it for their good so they can grow. If you want to know about my homeschooling, y'all keep watch. And by the way, for whoever just put that comment up that I can see, Chuck is the one who Chuck gave me the baby whisperer recently. My grandmama been calling me the baby whisperer. That's not my nickname for those of y'all nosy people to be on my page. My nickname is Taz, and that's because I can explode in 2.5 seconds and compose myself and get it again. That's why. That's nor here nor there. You still can't take my education. No here nor there. You won't be able to touch my kids' education. And I refuse for someone to tell me what my child is. Because tests don't make your child. What makes your child is the work that they do throughout the year. Let's sip some tea on that. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but I hope y'all have. Up next is the question of the day. Y'all ready for this? All right, this is for the homeschooling. That's one of my journeys through homeschooling. If you want to hear about my complete journey, that is a series that is exactly 2 hours and 42 minutes, if I timed it right. Put the date right now. It's my birthday. Everybody who see the 18th, y'all can hear me say this. It's my birthday. I think it's Do a Dance. I don't remember that song. That's how old I done get. Ain't that a shame? All right, y'all. On to video 3. And hopefully nobody call me in that one. So let me call my niece back and then I get back to you. It's the baby whisper. Whisper if you hear me. Y'all going on to teach them kids. Peace.